Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go home today.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies? Welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. I want to open up the Pride Month with with this insane video, bruh. Insanity. I like who little girl is this? Pray for her because she turned into a monster. I don't know if she thought she was supposed to be cute or something, but God dang, somebody should go to jail for giving this girl tea. But anyway, you know how they do the little TikToks where they go 3 days on tea. This is like a horror story. I mean, she literally turned into a gremlin. She was already a little gremlin. Then she turned to a gremlin with a mustache. Anyway, I want to play this for all the Pride Month people. Happy Pride Month. Roll the clip.
Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 1 week on tea.
Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 1 year on tea. Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 2 years on testosterone. Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 3 years on testosterone. Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 4 years on testosterone.
Testosterone make you go back in time. Oh, you got a Jerry curl now. How you go from here? He went back to the 70s with a Jerry curl. Oh my gosh, man. I just had to throw that. I saw that video the other day. I almost died. Like, go watch it again. I want to see. Watch it again. I can't believe this person got worse. Like, I get it. You look like your daddy on this one. But the progression was insane. Roll the clip. I had to watch it one more time.
Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 1 week on tea.
Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 1 year on tea. Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 2 years on testosterone. Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 3 years on testosterone. Hello, my name is Pierre. This is my voice 4 years on testosterone.
Oh my gosh, that is insane. Is this real, or is this a parody? God, I hope not. That's crazy. That's crazy. You should be better off just staying a girl. Anyway, I just want to throw that out there. But, people don't understand the real ramifications around people taking tea. Like, it's not just a voice. You see the Joker grew a mustache, got uglier, skinnier. It's more to it than just a voice, man. But I ain't going to go through all the nasty stuff that's involved in it. I'm going to leave y'all that up to your curiosity. All right, let's get to some more pressing issues. Mentioned in Pride Month, D-Wade. D-Wade's son is now 18 and literally look like a basketball player. D-Wade's son, you know what would be funny? If D-Wade's son played in the WNBA. You know how funny that'd be? If D-Wade's son played in the WNBA, meaning that would be the first transgender WNBA player that's 6'5", probably have the athleticism to dunk on all those women. That would be hilarious. But I guess when you take all that estrogen and stuff, you just lose all your motivation. But there was Corey, who's a comedian. He said something and had something to say. We had to censor it because, of course, he cussed every word out of his mouth. But we have to censor this. But I don't disagree with his sentiment when it comes to D-Wade and the pimping out of his own son. And let me tell y'all this. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I heard through the grapevine that for any man to be successful at a high level in Hollywood and in celebrity status, you had to sacrifice your son. And it's kind of interesting because you see Will Smith's son. What does his son look like? Magic Johnson's son. D-Wade's son. A lot of these dudes' sons seem to be going off the rails. Now, that could be a conspiracy, right? That may not be true. But it definitely is something that sparked my attention because why is it that D-Wade, one son, is like this? And it's his son with another woman, not Gabrielle Union. And I kind of think that Gabrielle Union sabotaged his son out of jealousy of that other woman. That's what I think. But that's just my thoughts. I can't verify. Roll the clip. Sound.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Craig, Darlene, anybody in the room? If somebody has an obnoxious, rude woman with them at the dinner table while y'all out, you know who I'm talking about. This obnoxious woman.
Right.
Or they got their son who dresses like a woman.
Oh.
Which is worse to deal with?
And he's obnoxious, the son?
No, his son got on a dress and lipstick and a skirt.
That's, man, I
Which is worse?
I guess
Why
for
is
you
the
guys
son
that would
with
be
us?
worse, but I think anybody that is interrupting.
You sitting up there, you got the choice. An obnoxious woman who doing way too much or somebody whose son got on lipstick, a skirt, eyelashes, wig.
Right.
You supposed to just sit there like this normal. Or talk to him like it's normal. You tell me, what's the worst scenario to be in?
You know what I mean?
Why, did that just happen?
No, I saw this interview with Dwyane Wade, and I just don't understand why Dwyane Wade likes to talk about everything good about his son except the elephant in the room. Because D-Wade, all you got to do is look at D-Wade nails.
He got his nails painted?
You got to see this, dog. D-Wade been dressing like this. He used to wear the capris with the look. D-Wade don't want the smoke like his son want the smoke. His son don't care.
Right.
I don't care. This is who I am. But D-Wade wants to try and make it seem like this is something, he wants to make it seem like something's wrong with you for not just accepting this for what it is.
Man.
And we're going to talk about that. Let me ask you something. Is the video?
Him and Magic Son about to do a movie together.
What is it called?
Tu Wong Fu 2.
Tu Wong Fu 2. Hold on.
Tu Wong
Look at
Fu
this,
2.
man. Look at this.
Wow.
Wait, hear him talk.
And it was amazing. Since then, Okay, but
enough. Cut it off.
Wait, does he have diamonds too?
D-Wade is low-key exploiting his son.
Diamonds on his
Let me tell you something, man. We finna get into this, y'all, because I'm not finna let it ride. And everybody be talking about Corey foul. Corey ain't foul. Corey is the elder in the village, and I'm speaking up for the village. Can we get that nonsense off the screen? I just wanted people to hear it. Hold on, now check this out, man. If you step to me with a boy like this, and you expect me not to address the elephant in the room, I already know you're gonna be mad at me. Cause I'm gonna say, hey, what's wrong with your boy? You know he can't be around my boys. I don't want none of that toxic up enemy behavior.
Toxic masculinity.
Ass up enemy. That's what I call it. Toxic up enemy behavior around my young boys. They should not have to feel the pressure of smiling it off with this man who found a way to tuck his nuts in a thong. My boys ain't got to go through that.
All right. I think we get his point. Now, I do think it's very bizarre, and I say this every time, and I mean no harm to people who feel like this, but these people, like I almost want to sit down with a few trans people and just see what is really going on, because I feel like they're not genuine. People are not just genuine about they stuff because it's embarrassing maybe to them, but I don't get how D-Wade's son somehow is a girl. I don't get why D-Wade accepts it, why he pushed this boy into being a girl, and he an ugly girl. That like you might as well have been a good-looking man than an ugly girl. Anyway, let's go to the D-Wade clip that's on Instagram. Roll it.
The trans conversation is not the entire conversation with us. This is 10% of our relationship. Right? We have just conversation about anything.
Yeah.
Chicken fingers, French fries.
Remember our conversation on mustard?
Yeah, mustard. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think that every time that Zion.
Why is his nails painted like this, though? This, to me, in my opinion, tells you everything you need to know. He's exploiting this boy. I think he got a fetish for some trans stuff, and he transitioned his own son. Why would you it's just like, and I don't want to make this comparison, but I think the comparison is consistent. It's just like when you hear somebody say free Palestine, you know what that means. You can tell right away what it means. You can tell right away what a person's ideology is. You can almost you hook, line, and sinker. You could just you have it all there. Same thing when it comes to a man painting their fingernails. Like you know what's underneath that. You know there's some weirdness underneath the man painting his fingernails pretty colors. It's not just an expression of, oh, this is how I feel. No, you intentionally are painting your fingernail. What man look at his nails and say, my nails will be cute with glitter on them? It's no real man think like that. Unless you gay, or you closeted, or you trans, or you got some weird fetish for some of this stuff. And so when you see D-Wade doing this, it's not a shocker to me that the fool is capitulating to what he claimed his son is doing. When he could have had a conversation with that boy, because that boy had a bad relationship with his mama, potentially, and he's lost. He need to go to counseling. He need to figure out his demons. Instead, you thrust him into being a girl. And he a big, ugly girl at that. Roll the clip.
And I sit down and have, this daddy-daughter time. And I tell you guys all the time, I always create moments with my village, for my people, right? Especially my kids. I'm going to find these moments to create with them. I date them all the time. And so I find these little small moments to date my kids, but that's the moments where you get a chance to get to know them. And then they get a chance to get to know you outside of, the father figure and the child figure that's in the home, right? And so when we get out of the home, we get in the car, we go to restaurants, we go to different places, we go to parks. The shield's off. And now we're just two people trying to get to know each other.
Weak fathers. It's funny. I always forget what I'm wearing. This is so important. What I got. Fathers matter. Fathers are very important, and weak, lackadaisical men are the problem with America. 1,000%. Like, men need to step up and be men. Men for their sons and men for their daughters. Every single man that sit there and watch their daughters get pummeled in sports by a trans male or whatever they call it, a boy transitioning, you a coward. I want to call you another word, but I'm really trying to be right by Christ. You are a coward. D Wade a coward. I'm calling you out for what you are. You are a coward. If you gonna let your daughter get beat up by these boys in sports and you don't say nothing, you just let it happen. You expecting the women to step up and do something. You expecting the girls to boycott. Where are they daddies at, bro? I'd be darned if my daughter's on a podium. Hey, man, I'm shutting the whole thing down. We either not participate or I'm gonna act a rear end. Where are the daddies at, man? Where are the daddies that are like, I'm not your friend, I'm your father. We ain't friends. I'm your dad. You have friends. We not buddying like that. I'm your dad. We can have a relationship. We can be more friendly when you grown. But while you a kid, you got to stay in a kid place. We can communicate and everything, but at the end of the day, I'm your dad. I tell you what to do. You under my household. This is a dictatorship. You don't have no rights outside of what I provide for you. You do what I tell you to do. And when you're grown, you do whatever you want to do. But there's dads that are afraid to say that to their kids. Oh, don't just let them live. Let them discover themselves. No, they need to be guided. They need instructions. They need father to stay. They need dad to step up and show them the way. I could put my life on it. Like 80% of people who are trans or homosexual, all they really needed was a dad that loved them as a father. And they wouldn't even be that way. All these lesbian girls, they need a dad that loved them. Just because your dad was there don't mean he there. Just because he in the house don't mean he present. They need somebody to love them, teach them about Christ, and guide them in the right direction. And I think 80% of people that walk around right now that think they gay and all that stuff, they would have not gone down that path if they had a strong dad in their life. 100%. I do not know of a gay person that had a good dad. That dad was present. And I'm not saying they ain't out there. I don't know any. That dad was present. That dad was loving. He was a good father. Raised you up with principles. Because just because you say, oh, we live in a Christian household, don't necessarily mean that you doing Christ right. You can go to church every day and you ain't living according to the Bible anyway. You don't, there's a certain things you don't do. You lead with love for your kids. You teach them about Christ. You be an example. Those are the things that make your kids gravitate to Christ more so than beating them over the head and forcing them to do stuff. And you going to a church that ain't preaching the truth anyway. Y'all got no Holy Ghost in your household. All right. Let's see, get back to that clip. Was that clip done? Yeah, it was in the clip. That's in the clip. All right. So I'm going to move on, but this Zaya thing is just, it's annoying to me. And I'm so sick of them, pushing it in our face. Why are you celebrating your son, a big, ugly dude? And I'm telling you what, he's going to get uglier. Ain't no way in the world a guy that Zaya wants is going to want Zaya back. You're going to go to the club and you 6'5" with a 15 shoe and your look back like this. Dudes ain't going to choose you. Majority of men at some point want to hit or they want to marry you. You can't do anything for a man unless they got a fetish. And I guarantee you that a person who's trans don't want to be with a person that just have a fetish. They probably want somebody to actually like them and love them. But you ain't going to get that in this world. You live in a fantasy. A man come up to you and they like you as ugly and as big and goofy as you are. They at least want kids. They at least may think, well, I'll marry you because you have a good personality. At some point, I want to build my legacy. They can't even build a legacy with you. Or if a guy just, he drunk and he would have hit anything at the bar, he may come to you, but he can't really do nothing with you because you got a dangling. And that's a hard pill to swallow. No pun intended. Pause. All right, let's go to the next. No, I want to stay on that same note. Let's go to that fool at Disneyland real quick. Let's go to this fool. And this is why I say what I say. Now, I looked this person up. I said, because this is my theory. These people are perverted. Majority of them. Not all of them. Some of them just living their life. These people are perverted. So when I see people like this that are all in everybody's face, throwing it all out there, I go look at their profile and I see, are they doing explicit content? And what do you know? This person got explicit content, OnlyFans and all that other stuff on their profile. This person is not just experiencing their life and trying to transition stuff. These people are sick, man. These people are sexual deviants. This is a whole thing they doing. They have nothing to do with that they feel like a girl. I think this person, listen, as a guy, look at him. He ain't got no play. His character's terrible. He ain't gonna get no women. And so what's the next best thing? Well, I'll get a lot of attention if I transition. And I'll get a lot of fetishizing from other people that like this kind of stuff. So then I feel like I get a lot more attention than I would as a man. That's what these people are actually ultimately doing. This stuff is a ploy for them to get you into some sexual stuff that they can make money off you on. I don't think this person is genuine.
He releases full-length corn every week.
Full length. Look. We ain't gonna put it on the screen, but Nick pulled it up. He got an exclusive thing that say he release porn every week.
Corn. Well, yeah, say that.
He say it like it is. Yeah. He doing adult content. That's why this person is on here getting misgendered. So you can follow him and so you can get the content. These people are not genuine whatsoever. This is why we sick of y'all. Because y'all can't just do what you want to do. Y'all are manipulative. And so let's give an example of how ridiculous this person is at Disneyland. They're literally talking about their genitalia at Disneyland. Why are you thinking about the ball and chain when you at a place where a bunch of kids at? Roll the clip.
I think Disney's going to ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. I'm not happy about that, but sadly it takes a long time to turn a corn dog into a inverted corn dog. I do hair removal every week for 2 hours straight. It is not fun or easy, but once that is finally done, hopefully by the end of the year, they are going to take my corn dog. These ears do not want to stay on. They are going to cut it down the middle. This is not the best knife for this. They will then take off the outer lining of the corn dog. Okay, I'm actually impressed that I'm doing this good of a job. Like so. Flip it inside out and make something of a tunnel. This tunnel will then become, well, you know, my hands are disgusting. Now you might be asking why I would do this or why anyone would do this. It sounds not fun. And I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to that recovery process. But know that this is not a decision that any of us take lightly. Our corn dogs do serve a purpose, but at the end of the day, I just don't like having it. It's not me. I look at it in the mirror and it's like, can we do something about that? And it turns out we can. But until then, I am making the most of my final days with my corn dog. Farewell to this thing that has served me not very well, but is what I was born with. It did its duty. R.I.P. I'm good.
I mean, but these are the same people that activists protect and say, oh, this person is, they're just living their life. People to get, no, bro. This person is going to places, antagonizing people, look like a dude, sound like a dude, and wonder why people don't know what this person is doing. You don't know if the person cross-dressing or they trans or are they doing drag queen stuff. I just wish that, I know I'm not God and I'm never going to be able to fix any of this stuff. I just wish it was different. I wish that people were genuine. But to be honest, the world is messed up. And people are not genuine at every level. Gay, straight, trans, whatever. None people are genuine. Most people are fake people. That's why I'm so popular. Because it's like, people are like, oh my God, there's a person that's genuine that's like saying, keeping it real and doing it. Because most people are just fake. I don't know if they know how to be real. It's like, dude, like, You really don't even believe this stuff. Why are you pushing it? You know you've been abused when you were younger. That's why you have these tendencies that you have. Why are you running around telling people you were born this way and you know that's not true? These people be secretly doing this and doing that and doing this, and then they come out in public and they put on a persona knowing that it's not real. Why? Now, I know it's human nature for people to be certain ways, but you do it and then you thrust it in people's faces, which is what I have a problem with. Be trans and be trans if you want to be trans. But don't be up here acting like people got to treat you a certain way because you have a delusion about who you are. And I'll tell you this is the whole spectrum of it all. You look at it and you say, well, there's trans people that keep their stuff and there's trans people that get surgeries. Now, what's the difference? Why do some of them do it and they okay with keeping the genitalia, but yet they claim to be a woman? You would think if a person really had gender dysphoria, every single person would have to get it removed. Think about it, bro. They couldn't live like this. They claim they can't live presenting as a man, but bro, when you pull your pants down every day when you go to the bathroom, it's a man right there. That means that you will see more people having surgeries, but that's not what they do because it's not a real thing. People are just, most of them are just making up stuff. Just like the gay people. You know what I mean? Like, bro, are you really gay? Are you really gay? Or is this just, you just don't feel comfortable? You didn't have your daddy around. And so you didn't know how to be a man. You don't know what a man look like. You've been around women your whole life. And so you're identifying and picking up mannerisms from women. And soft, weak men who don't have masculinity or are not masculine, women don't tend to choose them. So what do? You go down the path of choosing men. There is a point in time where I think men go beyond the pale. That's why you got to help these young men and pray for them when they're young before they get exposed to getting busy with another man. Because I honestly believe that these young people that are confused, if they had the right guidance and help when they're young before they engage in that behavior, I think they can go on to live a life of being straight. I really do. It's when they go into that level of deviancy. It's like the first time that a straight person do for the first time. You are innocent in your mind, you're innocent in your actions, and then as soon as you cross that threshold, you are no longer innocent anymore. Now, God can restore you, but you now are going after that lifestyle. When you were not doing nothing as a straight person, and then you go to doing that, now you want more and more and more, and then before you know it, you have unlocked the door for you to now go into that lifestyle. You have to pray your way out, get saved your way out of that. Same thing happened to these people that are confused. They go, I'm gonna try this, and they try, and they go down this lifestyle and they won't never recover. They do it once, they got to live that lifestyle. And a lot of these men struggle because if you want to come out of lifestyle, a lot of women don't want a man that been with another man. That's just, you ain't no coming back, bro. You've been doing all that. How you gonna tell a girl, yeah, I've been doing that with another man? Okay. Most women are like, ugh. But anyway, I pray for these people, man. I really do. Like, y'all probably think I don't pray for them. I do, man. I pray that God can give people what they need, because homosexuality and transgenderism is an outward expression of something going on the inside that have nothing really to do with gender. They have nothing really to do with lust and none of that stuff. It's something else in the inside of people that make them act out, and they act out with promiscuity. For straight people, they act out because they sleeping with everybody. They don't not keep their stuff in their pants, anger, same-sex involvement, transitioning, non-binaries. It's that something on the inside needs a revival. Therefore, the outside expression will be different. It's not the outside, man. It's not. You're not gonna fix people by cussing them out and doing all that. You got to address the underlying issue in these people's lives. And I would argue, and I'm gonna move on, that it's fathers, it's men. Men are the problem, and men are the solution. You gotta be the right father for your kids. They need you to show them the way. They need you to hug them and love them. I'm telling you right now, and this is just on my heart to say this, because I don't care. Nobody watching this live stream anyway. It's like 10 people in there. Or it's 2,000 people. I got 3 million, 3.5 million people. But I love the 2,000 that's watching this. But I'm going to say what I want to say because I'm not worried about the numbers. So that's my point there. A lot of young men, and it's just an instinct that I have. I don't know. I don't have proof of this. I just feel like this. And I bet there's evidence to back it up. A lot of young men need their dads to hug them and show them love. Because when you don't have love from your father, you begin to look for love from men when you get older. And that then turns, and sometimes it turns into homosexuality. It turns into you cuddling and wanting something from another man that you didn't get from your dad. I could be wrong, man. So y'all comment section, tell me if I'm wrong. I just think that that's the truth. That's what's happening. Like, I think that, you know, I remember one time my son, when he was living in Seattle, he was going to school there. I would always try to come visit the school at least once a year to meet the teachers or whatever. One time I was passing through, going through Seattle, going to Portland, and I said, I'm going to stop by my school, stop by his school and see him since I'm passing through Seattle. And I remember going to his classroom, going to the front. They wouldn't let me in because I didn't have approval or something stupid. But they probably let drag queens in there. But he come to the front, and I remember before I left, I gave him a hug. He started crying. He started tearing up. He got emotional. I didn't say nothing to him. He didn't say nothing to me about it. I just hugged him. And the hug and embrace from your daddy means something. It's like when you have children and you do skin to skin when the baby come out. Some of y'all may not know about that, but when the baby come out, you lay them on your skin. Skin to skin contact is healing for babies. When my son was born premature, I did skin to skin because my wife couldn't do it for a while because she was still recovering from the pregnancy. And I came down there, put the baby right on my chest, and all of his vitals begin to recover. It's a thing. Humans need that connection. Skin to skin contact with little babies is paramount. Women should literally be carrying their babies skin to skin with them all day long. But that's no here nor there. But the same thing happens when your father speaks life into you, when your dad hugs you and tells you, I'm proud of you, I love you. When you see a masculine man whom you look up to, whom you admire, who look just like you, embrace you, love you, and make you feel confident and comfortable, you become the man that you ought to be. When you don't have that, it messes you up. And like I was saying, I had it. So I don't know what it's like not to have it, but I see it I feel it in these young men that are struggling. I'm like, they just never had a man hug them and say, I love you, I'm proud of you. And they can be vulnerable to another man. That's their dad or a coach or somebody who they can get that, you know, it's a weird term now, but we used to say, me and my buddy used to say, it sounds so horrible now. People done perverted all these words. But we used to say man juice. It sounds crazy, but we used to say our sons need the man juice. That means that when they come around us, they get revived. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a refresher. They need dad around. They need to get refreshed. They need to get dad in them. You know what I'm saying? So they come around their dad, been with their mama all year, and they come around their dad, and then they elevate. A day, 2 day, weekend, 2 weeks, boys just, they turn around. They start talking different. They start walking different. They start getting different confidence. It's a thing. And I'm not saying nothing against women, because women and mothers are incredibly important, especially when kids are young. But I'm telling you, these boys needed their daddy. If I did a survey today and I surveyed every trans boy, every trans girl, every gay or lesbian person, and you asked them what was their relationship like with their dad, and I guarantee you it wasn't good. Either daddy wasn't there or the relationship was damaged while dad was there. Because dad did not take the time to focus, how do I communicate with my daughter? How do I communicate with my son whom I see is going off the rails? How do we go to counseling, or how do we pray? How do we, connect in a way that I can save him or her before they go off the handle? Daddy's working all day long. You have no connection with your daughter. You have no connection with your son. And then before you know it, he won a dress. And he liked boys. Because, and let me say this last part, this is important. And it is because some people may be born with a propensity, which means that some people are born softer than others. They just are. I've seen some people that I've seen, they look like they were gay ever since they were little kids. They just running around twisting. But what I'm saying is that that's what we call a propensity. You have to work with your children. You have to love on your children. You have to guide them and get them in a direction. If you don't, they have the propensity to go down this path. It's the same thing with anger issues. It's the same thing with generational stuff that people have. Like if some people, your kid attitude is just as bad as yours. You like to forget that you a hothead, but your kid's a hothead too. So what do? You need to foster and build those relationships and connect with your children so they don't fly off the handle like you used to do all the time. Same thing with that, with the trans and gay stuff, man. You got to identify that in your kids and begin to coach them. And I hope you don't go to hell. Maybe I'll start saying that. I hope that the Lord don't send these parents to hell that transition their 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And saying, my kid knew he was trans ever since they were 2. Like, I got 2 boys. Some of y'all got way more kids than me. When my kid was 3, that's not even a thing, bruh. Boy or girl thing is not even really a thing. I mean, he know he a boy because he know he got to stand up and go over the toilet like his daddy do. He know he got a wang like his daddy do, right? He know he ain't got his mama don't have it. His boys have that. You teach them and you teach them biology. They understand that. But whether or not he know if he is a decision between being a girl or a boy, that he know he feel like he in the wrong body, that's not a thing, bro, for a 3-year-old. 2 kids. It's so far-fetched to think that my son would think like that at 3. Man, he jumping off the couch, want to be Superman and Legoland and what he's like. No, he does. He like Minecraft and stuff. Like my son, he all into that stuff. He building stuff, he toys, and he running out screaming, want to fight every day. Like that boy ain't thinking about his gender. You know what I'm saying? And for you to thrust that on your children, that's a projection of some foolery you doing. And I hope you don't go to hell. That's the better way to say it, right? Hope you don't go to hell for that. Okay, let's move on. I just had to get that out of my chest. I want to get to this other topic because it kind of bothered me. I don't know if this girl has a GoFundMe. Do you think she has a GoFundMe? I haven't seen it anywhere. But this young girl lost her title in the state championship race. And I think it was wrong that she lost her title. It was wrong. Do I believe that it had anything to do with race? No. I believe it had everything to do with ignorance and stupidity and people having a peeing contest and people don't know when to have nuance. And it could be racial insensitivity, but I don't think it's racism, which means I don't think that they did this to her because she was black. Why? Because everybody black. The fact that they took her title, the girl that was second is black. So it's not like it's a black thing. It could be a cultural thing, which means that you'll see it when you watch the video. Maybe these people don't know who Maurice Green is. And maybe if you don't know what Maurice Green is, you may not know why she did what she did. So all that kind of goes together. But I think it's wrong. And if I can find this girl, I'm willing to advocate for her to get her title back. There's no effing way in the world that she runs with all that training and hard work she probably done, all those years of training, she wins the state championship, and then they take her title because she celebrate. When they let boys beat up girls and win races, and they don't take their titles because they got a wang. Roll the clip.
I worked so hard for that title.
The greatest moment of 6.
Let me just say this for those of you who don't run track. When she says she worked so hard, she ain't lying. For you to win a state championship running a 400, oh no, was it the 400 or 100 meter hurdles? I think it was the 400. I ran track. Track is horrifying. Running 200 meters, all that stuff, man. That stuff is not easy. And for you to be the fastest, that means you got to be training yo off. And I bet this girl was in summer track ever since she was a kid. It's not easy to do what she did. Roll the clip.
18-year-old Clara Adams' young career taken away from her because of a celebration. After winning the 400-meter event at the CIF State Championships with a time of 53.24 seconds, her dream of winning a state title went up in flames after celebrating using a fire extinguisher.
When she blew the fire extinguisher, the opponents were gone. That was our moment of celebration, and the CIF officials made that about them. The crowd went crazy. They loved it. The booth, CIF booth went crazy. They loved it. But those few guys in those jackets, they took offense to it, didn't like it, and they made a decision based on emotions.
The North Salinas High sophomore grabbed a fire extinguisher from her father and coach and extinguished off her spikes. The CIF deemed her celebration unsportsmanlike, stripping her of her title. It's a celebration made famous by American sprint icon Maurice Green, who enjoyed her paying homage to him and thinks she should get her state title back.
When I heard, because it happened and then people just started calling me, oh, this girl who just won the 400 redid your celebration. I was like, huh, what? If it was away from everyone and not really interfering with anybody, I would say reinstate her.
One clear infraction was Clara's father hopping the railing onto the track after the race, but says he only did that because of how CIF officials were treating his daughter.
There's a CIF rule saying you can't come over the wall, you can't be on the infield, which is a rule respected. But at this point, I explained before about being a coach and a father wearing the different hats. I saw an official grab my daughter by the arm. They were yelling in her face. When he grabbed her by the arm, I went over the wall at that point. I'm father now. I'm not coach anymore. I'm over the wall.
Now, the true fastest 400-meter runner in the state is back home without a medal. And even if the CIF is to reinstate her as the champion, she never got that moment of being crowned a champion.
Even if everything goes in my favor, in regards to getting my title back, I'll still never get that moment back, standing on the podium as a sophomore. I'll never get that back because they took it from me.
Now let's talk about it. So what I will say is that she was wrong, right? She was wrong for the celebration. She was unsportsmanlike for the celebration. You can't do it. It's unsportsmanlike. They should have known better. But to rip the title from her, I think it's excessive. I think it's excessive. Penalize her or whatever you got to do. Give her a warning for her being unsportsmanlike. But to rip the title from the girl is insane, in my opinion, because people do all kinds of stuff and they not ripping titles away from people. When I think if you run as a man, transition into a girl and you beat girls, they should strip the title from you. Why don't they strip the title from people like that? They're actually cheating. It's almost using male enhancement, performance supplements, whatever they call it. Is it male? Would it be male enhancement? That sounds like some Cialis or something. Yeah. If that male enhancement be Cialis, right? That's the wrong term. What would it be? Performance enhancing. That's what I mean. I said male enhancement. Lord Jesus, help me. Not male enhancement. Nick, you didn't even tell me I said the wrong thing. Performance enhancing drugs, not male. They probably using that. I don't know. Hey, it's a boy up there running against girls. He probably using it. But performance enhancing drugs is what these people are essentially doing when they transition. Because you got testosterone in your body that's higher than the level of these girls. And you've been having it like that for your whole life. If it gets down, that's like somebody taking steroids. That's like somebody competing and they take steroids and then they stop taking steroids and they get back down to the normal testosterone level. Bro, you've been training with steroids for all this time. You're not going to lose everything. You done cheated to get to where you at there, and then you take less, and then you here. But you would be here if you didn't take it. You took it, get here, and you landed here. That's what transitioning stuff is. That's what cheating is. That's why you can't take performance-enhancing drugs, because you're cheating. People don't have that availability to recover like you do. And therefore, your workouts are 2 or 3 times more effective than everybody else's workouts. That's why they don't allow you to do that. I can't believe I said adult enhancement. That is insane. All right, let's go on to the next story. Let's see. Reid, top 5 dumbest person in American history. Look at what this bald head devil had to say. Roll the clip.
There are lots of people at the network who are critical of Donald Trump. I mean, and they're still critical of him, I'm assuming, you know. So
Yes.
I don't think that's but I do know there is a lot of anxiety both there and I think in every media. We're seeing it at CBS, we're seeing it at ABC, where allegedly the View hosts were told not to go so hard on Trump, where there's a push for people to, hey, do less Trump, do more entertainment, don't be hard on him.
Yeah, I
he's
read
very
that.
litigious. There's a fear of him. So I think there, you know, and obviously
It's not this is why these people will never be executives. It's not that they're protecting Trump. It's that the people are sick of y'all talking about it. So the ratings are low. You guys are getting embarrassed. People are tuning out. You having to read legal notes. You guys are lying on television. People are distrusting you. Like they want to hear you talk about more than just hating Trump. It's not that Trump is out here making news organizations fire people for saying negative things about him. If that was the case, y'all been fired in 2016. The thing is, people are sick of this. And y'all lying. Y'all not even talking about stuff that's real. Donald Trump be really cutting up. Y'all ain't talking about stuff he really doing. Y'all talking about other stuff. He was an insurrection. No, he wasn't. Good people on both sides. No, he didn't say that. Donald Trump hates black people. What are you talking about? What black people are you talking about? Dumb black people? Yeah, of course. I hate them too. Anyway, roll the clip.
But Joy, let's be honest. You were no different than Nicole or Rachel Maddow.
Well, only in one way was I different. I'm a black woman doing the thing. You know what I mean? And so I'm not different, but I'm different. There are lots of.
Was that it? Yeah. Thank God. I'm so sick of these people playing the race card. No, you were the worst, bruh. I watched, we made videos about your show. You were put her head back on there. You were the worst, bruh. You said some of the most outlandish things I've ever heard anybody say. And you know why you got fired? Because your show couldn't handle you being that stupid. Rachel Maddow and them show is much bigger. They had primetime slots. They can withstand saying a couple retarded things about Trump. You couldn't. And then you bald head and weird looking. So you're not even appealing to look at. Well, Rachel Maddow ain't either. She looked like a. Hey man, let me say that. I need to pray, y'all. My mind is going crazy. I wanted to call her L. That in the LGBTQ, she looked like a crazy L. Probably smell like Funyuns. Anyway, Joy Reid is a nut. She got fired. She claimed it was race. We know it wasn't race. The View and all of them are problematic because they keep going over and over. They beating a dead horse that's not real. The people have voted. Donald Trump is the guy. Stop lying on him and stop talking about him. Her show ratings dropped a lot more than other people, except Rachel Maddow, but still got canned. It said her show ratings dropped less than others. So I reversed that. That means her ratings didn't drop as much, but her show was definitely not one that's watched anyway. All right, let me read some of my stats I got here. MSNBC replaced her with a low-rated ensemble show. I think I'm saying it right. That hasn't performed any better. She said you weren't pulling numbers. Joy blames Trump, won't fill the gap. Let me see. Play the race card, Trump derangement syndrome, some other notes I put on here. I think at the end of the day, it's this. She's not a likable person. She's probably not she's probably not easy to get along with. Her show was trash. And, a lot of this stuff is also knowing who you know. It's one thing I learned in football. You got to be in the coach's office, man, kissing his butt. You got to be in there talking to him. You got to be in there letting him know what you're thinking. You got to be him to feel confident and putting you in the game and that you know the plays because you're over-communicating with him. When you're somebody that think, I don't need to go talk to the coach, I don't need to go in, you unfortunately, you alienate yourself because now the coach is not as familiar with you as he is with other players. The same thing when you're in these positions where you're on a news network. You should be, I don't want to say kissing up to somebody, but you need to be letting them, sending them emails and communicating and being, a friendly person in the workplace and all that other stuff. And that'll get you further than if you're alienating yourself. And if you're running around talking about race all the time and you want to just partner with the black folks, you ain't gonna get nowhere. That happened to me on the police department. And I'll say this, when I first joined the police department, I was getting pulled in a lot of directions because I was a former U of A athlete. So that was like a big deal, being an athlete and then going to being a cop. I mean, a lot of people were fans of the U of A football team in Tucson. So the Tucson Police Department was a place where it was exciting for athletes to go and be cops. And I remember when I got off FTO, they were like, hey, you need to train for the SWAT team because in 3 years, we want you to be on the SWAT team. So you start training now. There was some other talks. And I thank one of my sergeants for stopping me from doing it because he was like, you need to pay your dues, bro. You don't need to be worried about SWAT, nothing. You need to learn how to be a cop first. Don't get pulled in all these directions. Learn how to write a case report. Learn how to hustle. Build your reputation. I'm telling you, no, you can't go. He literally told me no, I couldn't go and train for SWAT. He said no. And at first I was kind of a little mad. I thought he was hating on me a little bit, but then I realized I think he was doing what was best for me. Going back to saying this, but then also the black officers on the police department had a black, union or whatever. Not union, but like a black group or whatever. So I went to the National Black Police Officers Association, which, to be honest, it really motivated me a little bit. It did. I ain't gonna lie. Mark Lamont Hill was the freaking keynote speaker, and I really thought he was cool back then. That dude's a nut. But it motivated me because being a black guy, no black police officers, right? And so you don't know that black people even in the profession. I grew up with police being all white, and they hate black people. And then when I went to the National Black Police Association, I'm like, whoa, dude, there's black chiefs, there's black lieutenants, black mounted officers, there's black K-9. I'm like, dude, black people do this job too. And it gave me inspiration that, like, I'm not somehow an outlier. Like, it's a lot of black cops. And I don't have to feel like I can't be at the top of the rank because I see it. I see it. And it was an opportunity, I ain't gonna lie, for people to network, right? You have a network of other black officers that'll help you on sergeant's test and, so it was a whole thing. But then what happened was it became too tribal for me. It was like, for me, I like to experience going to the Black Police Officer Association conference and then, still hanging out with my buddies, doing police stuff here and there, supporting all these other groups. It became tribal. It became like, no, we black, bro. Like, we the black cops on the police department. Like, it's like a secret society. It's like, oh, wait a minute, bro. What are we talking about? Nah, man, the white cops are all out to get us, bro. The reason I didn't get promoted is because I'm black. And it was like, that's the sentiment that came from it for me. I was like, man, I ain't really feeling this right here. I don't want to be like this. Well, I remember that the black police officers, it was like 12 of us on the whole police department, advocated, and I wasn't really responsible for advocating, but the group advocated that we changed our call sign stuff. So we used to title race as numbers. So we didn't say black male, we didn't say white male, we didn't say, it was too much. It'll be like number 1 male, number 2, number 3, number 4. Now, number 1 was Hispanic, number 2 was Asian, I think. Number 3 was black, number 4 was Mexican. No, I don't remember what it was. Number 5 was white. So I know black was 3, Mexican was 1, 5 was white, and then the other races, Indian, I think was number 4 or something like that. So the black police officers on the department made a fuss about it and said that it gives the white officers the ability to say the N-word without saying the N-word. So they'll say a number 3. So he acted like a number 3 is what they would say. And me patrolling with all the white guys, nobody even thought of that, bro. It was like, it's easy to say number 2. Units copy, man Flynn, number 3 male. That's easy. Instead of saying African-American male, because you don't know if they want to be African-American or black. It's too many stuff. You just 3. Person number 3. Like, what are we talking about? Person number 1. Person number 5. Number 5 male. Like, anyway, they made such a fuss, and they end up removing the numeric code from our police jargon. Not jargon, it was like actual code. They literally removed the numeric code from our code system. And so we then had to go white male, black male, native male, and then you run into a weirdness because there's some people that are ambiguous and you don't know what to call them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the number system was a lot better. And then only the cops knew what you were talking about, except the criminals that go to jail all the time, then they figured out our 10 codes. But only the cops knew what you talking about. So you say, yeah, it was a suspect. And they go, yeah, the suspect was a number 3 male. The black person don't know that number 3 is black. They don't know what kind of description. And you can tell them what you want. You be like, oh, yeah, they said a white male. And, you know, if you need to buy time to get some resources together so the person don't automatically know it's them. You know, people listening to police scanners. They don't know what number 3 is. They don't know what number 1, number 2. They did all of that fuss to change that on the police department. And I said, I don't really want to be a part of this anymore. Like, I just want to be an officer that love everybody, that work hard, that got a great reputation, and I can work with anybody. And what happened to my career? It went like this. I literally was a PIO spokesperson. I was on a SWAT team. I was a field trainer. I went to all the training, CIT training, HGN training. I mean, you go down the list. I did everything, dude. I was on the police department for 6 years. And I was headed to being a sergeant. I'd have made the sergeant's test. I'd have been a sergeant. I'd have been a lieutenant. Anybody that they promoted to PIO would normally become a chief one day. And they thought the world of me when I was there. And when I got out of that race stuff is when it became better. Okay. Let me do this last story, and then we're going to be out of here. If you want to know, this, huh? Okay. You forgot to remind me. All right. Come on. Let's I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, Masa Chips. Real quick. I forgot to tell you guys about it. But let's talk about it real quick. So if you are a type of person that wants to live healthy like I do, I got to start living better. You know what I'm saying? Because eating all the processed food and seed oils and all that stuff, man, that stuff is not good for you. You're going to pay now, you're going to pay later. One of the two going to happen to you. You're going to pay now, or you're going to end up in the hospital paying for these bills later if you don't change the way you consume food. And this is my approach to it. And this is why I love Masa Chips. I'm saying I don't want to just cut everything out my diet and never eat anything and be sitting at home fasting all day. I want to replace things that I already eat and like with healthier options. You can do this with, if you drinking Gatorade, which is tons of sugar, try Gatorade Zero. To wean yourself off of these things. I would suggest you don't drink Gatorade at all, but if you want to do it, wean yourself off of this. If you go into the store, you're buying chips that have seed oils in it and greasy chips with all this artificial stuff in it, then give Masa Chips a try because their chips are incredible. And they only have really 3 ingredients in it. Organic corn chips, or organic corn, grass-fed beef tallow, and also sea salt. That's 3 ingredients plus the flavor, which is all natural. So give Masa Chips a try. Every single person that I know that eat Masa Chips, they love it. It's a great chip. You mix it with all your favorite stuff that you want to, mix it with. My favorite is habanero, and then my second favorite is lime. So every month we order them, and I order habanero and lime. I've had every flavor that they have, and they all are really, really good. But those 2 are my favorites. So if you're interested in the healthier option, the chips are absolutely amazing. We got tons of them even around the office right here. You just go to the link in the description section, or if you go to the link, put in discount code Officer Tatum. You put in Officer Tatum, you'll get 25% off at your checkout. That's 25% off. So take advantage of it now. Eat healthy and go and look at the reviews. 4.7 out of 5 stars. It must be good. All right. Let's get back to the last story real quick. Because if you want to know what not to do when it comes to dealing with police, this is a textbook video. If you want to know how much of a lying population of the melanin exists in America that claim that they're afraid of police officers and they're afraid they're going to get killed by the police, but this is how they act. And you tell me if this is a person who's scared, a person who legitimately fear police officers, or a person who's acting like they're supposed to act at a traffic stop. I need it on my screen. Viewer's discretion is advised. Roll the clip.
here, what you pull me over for? Man, what you just pulled my door open for, man? Man, you don't just rip my door open. Oh, okay, I got my driver. You don't rip my door open, bro. No, or what? You don't rip the man. Watch out, man. You don't rip my door open. No, you just rip my door open, dude. No, or what? No, I got my driver. You don't rip my door open. No, go get you. You go get your supervisor, bitch. Go get your supervisor, bitch. You don't rip my door open, dude. Yo, or what? You don't rip my door open, dude. Get the out of my face, man.
Babe, stop.
Oh! Rip my door open. Rip my door open.
Hey, that's not called for. That's not called for. That's not called for. It's not called for. That's 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 not called for.
I ain't even did nothing.
That's not called for.
I ain't did nothing.
That's not called for.
I ain't even did nothing.
That's not called for.
Bro, took 40.
That's not called for.
No, bro, I ain't did
That's
nothing.
not called for. He ain't do
I'm
nothing.
not.
You yanked his door open. Call your supervisor.
Go get your supervisor, bro.
Bring your phone
Go get your supervisor, bro.
Give him the phone.
Go get your supervisor, bro. Go get your supervisor, bro. Go get your supervisor, bro.
Hey Siri,
All right, time out.
Call 911.
Can I give you guys some advice? This supervisor thing is overplayed. Law enforcement agencies are required to request a supervisor if you ask them to. However, they don't have to wait till a supervisor responds to take action against you, especially if you're doing this. A supervisor is somebody that will come and communicate after the fact. It's not always during the call. You can't get out of something because you say, go get your supervisor, I don't want to talk to you. That's not how it works. A supervisor should be a reasonable request for a supervisor to come and assess the situation. But you acting a fool, the cop is going to have to act. These people are watching too many fake lawyers online. You don't get to act a fool and then ask for a supervisor. When a cop tell you to get out of the car, you have to listen to his commands, whether you agree with them or not. And then when the cop, he opened the door, the cop just pulled it open. And he blows up on the cop like this. Now, if this was me, this kid would have been already on the ground with a couple knocks on his head. Because you let them do all this, then that's when they grab a gun and they start doing all this. You got to get on they quick. As soon as he started doing what I told, I'm going to ask you, I'll tell you, and then I'm going to make you. That cleans it up. It cleans it up. Or if you feel like you can't take the guy yourself because it's two people, then you back off a little bit and give him some space, as long as they don't drive off. But for me, I'm sure I could take him and that girl at the same time. All right, roll the clip.
Call 911.
Stop
Call
touching
911. Call 911. Call 911, bro.
Got the kids in the car, too.
Bro. Call 911.
Call 911. My child.
Call 911. That's my baby right here, bro. Call 911. Call 911.
No.
I ain't even did nothing, bro.
He ain't do nothing.
Call 911,
He
bro.
yanked his car. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this. Look at this. What the f***? What y'all doing? He ain't even do nothing. He ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing.
He ain't do
do
nothing.
I need security.
Give me your hands.
He ain't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. Get back.
He still won't put his hands behind his back.
He didn't do nothing. Call the police. Call the police.
Still won't put his hands behind his back.
Get back. Get back. Get back.
Get back. No, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. This is the police. This is the police. This is the police. He ain't do nothing.
He ain't done nothing.
He ain't do nothing.
Leaving the kids in the car.
He ain't do nothing.
Put your hands
He ain't do nothing.
Put your
Stop
hands
my
behind your
car.
back.
My daughter's in the car. He ain't do nothing.
Put your hands behind your back now.
Hey Siri, call Marissa. Hey Siri, call Marissa. Hey Siri, call Marissa.
How do people like this exist? Go back to the beginning. Don't start it. I just want to comment. I do not understand for the life of me how a person will say, I'm afraid of the cops because they out here killing us, but yet you do everything in your power other than do this to get beat up and shot and hurt. If a cop comes to your door, you already getting pulled over. You know what it is. I think my 4-year-old know you need to show him your ID. Bro, if you ain't done nothing, show the man the ID. That's it. This guy, you could kill the sound and play it. This guy literally argued with this cop and did all of this over an ID. His kids in the car, his girl in the car. They out here just shooting black people for no reason. Like, what? Why would you act like this? And I'll say this. Pause it. It's what it is racism and hatred of authority. I guarantee you he don't have a good relationship with his dad. And he didn't have a dad to lead him and guide him on how to be a man. But also racism. Because it's a white cop. And therefore it's an initial aggravation because a white man is telling you what to do. And these people lose their minds. And that girl is running around saying he didn't do nothing. They don't give a F about their kids. Even if you don't like what a cop says, you don't act like that in front of your children. Why? Because you don't want to scare your children to death. What do you think these kids are thinking? Their daddy getting killed by police officers when all you had to do was give me ID just like this. I've been pulled over in my life. I even pulled myself over one time because I knew I was caught. I was flying. I saw that cop pull out. I said, all right, let me pull over for you. Hey, don't even, just come on over. Don't even turn your lights on, bro. I'm got, all right? I'm not going to even make you push the gas pedal. I'm going to scroll right over here on this side and come give me whatever ticket I deserve. I was going 90-something in a 75. I don't know what I was doing. I was howling in that big old red truck. You can't miss it. I say, look, man, he was apologizing. I said, man, look, I did it. You ain't got to apologize to me, man. You doing your job. I'm out here speeding. So it is what it is. I got to take that consequence. I ain't finna lie to you, act like I didn't know I was speeding. I'm flying. To be honest, he kind of helped me out because I was getting tired. I was falling asleep behind the wheel. I was nodding off a little bit. I was like, man, that's why I was driving so fast. I rolled the windows down. I'm like, thank God he pulled me over, man, because I was getting super tired. And it kind of woke me up when he pulled me over. So, and that's just, that was, I don't know how many, 2-3 years ago? Well, it was more than that. I think like 4 years ago. But regardless, I didn't argue with that man. I had my gun on me. I said, look, I had my hands on the steering wheel. I said, look, sir, I got a firearm on me. It's actually in my center console because I took it off, and put it in the center console because I didn't want it on me while I was driving. I didn't want to get pulled over with it on me. But it was in my center console. I said, you got a gun in there? He said, just don't reach for it. What would you like, my ID? I already had my ID and stuff prepped because I got my wallet in my pocket. I pulled my ID out because I know he going to want it. He came up, gave my ID, showed him my insurance on my phone. He ran my license plate. All my stuff is clean. And he said, I can, you was going too fast. I got to give you a ticket. And in my mind, I'm like, he could arrest me, to be honest. That's criminal speeding, going 30 over the speed limit, or however fast I was going to speed limit. But he didn't. He gave me a ticket. I took the ticket and I left. Thank you for your service. It's what it is a projection of what's on the inside of these people. They don't get raised right. They got violence and hatred and evilness and bitterness in their heart. And so anytime somebody tell them what to do, they flash out on them. When in reality, you should just be a person of integrity and say, I was wrong, man. I was speeding. Every time I've gotten pulled over, I think as an adult, I don't think I've denied anything. I got pulled over for going on the wrong side. I was crossing a speed bump. Now, the guy was a jerk, and he was the worst cop on the Tucson Police Department, if you ask me. But when he pulled me over, I said, you know why I pulled you over? Yes, sir. You were crossing the wrong? Yep, I did it. I apologize, man. I wasn't trying to scratch my rims up, so I did it. Okay, what do you need from me? You know what I'm saying? ID, all right, here you go. Didn't even ask me for my registration. He didn't even ask me for my insurance card. And I was a little nervous a little bit because I hadn't been pulled over, as an adult. And so I didn't think to give it to him. He didn't ask me. So I just gave my ID. He started getting intense with me, like, well, get out of the car. I'm like, okay. And like he wanted me to be mad or something. I'm like, I'll do whatever you tell me to do, bro. You the cop. I'm just here. I'm the one did the violation. I'm just here to take responsibility for what I did. I can tell so why didn't you get your registration done? And I said, well, I did get pulled over the other day. It was like 3 days ago by a state trooper. And I didn't know my registration was out because I don't pay for my registration, so I didn't know it was out. But when he pulled me over, I knew it was out. I told my father. My dad deals with my car because I'm in college. He deals with my car, and he told me he was going to get it fixed, and I'm sure he's going to get it fixed any day now. That's all I told him. I could take you to jail for this, right? And I'm like, I didn't know that, but okay. Like, what do you want me to do? I did it. You told me I did it. Give me these tickets. He arrested me for expired registration in a foreign state. So in the state of Arizona, if your registration of your vehicle is expired on out-of-state plates, it's a misdemeanor crime. So this guy arrested me. He paper arrested me. He where you get arrested and you sign to appear in court on a later date. He cited me for not having insurance, which he never asked me for. He cited me for driving on the wrong side of the road, which I wasn't driving on the wrong side of the road. I had crossed the double lines. There's a difference between crossing the double lines and driving on the wrong side of the road. I only my tires on the left side went around because I went around a speed bump. So my whole car wasn't on the wrong side of the road. So he got me for driving on the wrong side of the road, no insurance, arrested me for expired registration in a foreign state. And of course, all the charges got dropped when I went to court because it was bogus. All of it was bogus, except one, the driving on the wrong side of the road. And me being naive to the court system, I thought when they told me it was dropped that they dropped everything, right? They dropped the misdemeanor arrest. So I thought they dropped everything. I'm like, oh, all the charges are dropped. They held the wrong side of the road one. And then 3 or 4 years later, because the ticket was never addressed, they were going to suspend my driver's license while I was a cop. I got a letter in the mail at my grandma's house in Texas that said, and Willie B, rest his soul, my grandpa said, Brandon, I got this letter for you. And I say, well, what does it say? It says that your registration will be expired or suspended if you don't take care of this ticket. And I'm like, what? I'm a cop, man. I went through a background check. They tell me I ain't no outstanding tickets. Man, I had to go up to that court and got my car broke into because somebody tricked me, man. I even as a cop, they tricked me. I'm trying to park my car at the courthouse, and the guy was like, hey, bro, they got spots right over there, bro. It's free. He had me pull over in the spot that was free, but knocked my window out. He didn't steal anything. He just knocked my window out and ran it through my car. I was having a bad day. But my daddy did help me get that suspension paid for. And I told you I had a warrant for my arrest, too, while I was a cop out of Denton County. I'll never forget that. The day before I found out I had a warrant for my arrest, I got a guy at a car on a traffic stop. He had a warrant for his arrest. He was like, bro, I had no idea I had a warrant for my arrest. And I'm like, who has a warrant for their arrest and they don't know? You know if you got a warrant for your arrest. Man, the next day, my dad called me. Hey, Brandon, Denton County Sheriff wants you to give him a call. And I'm thinking they recruiting me or something. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll call him. He said, this Brandon Tatum? Yes, sir. I just want to let you know you got a warrant for your arrest out of Denton County. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. What? I'm a cop. What do you mean I got a warrant for my arrest? How did I get a warrant for my arrest? They like, that ticket back in 2010, and this is like 2015 or something. They like that ticket back in 2010 in Denton County, that the no seatbelt ticket, you never paid for it. It was a $200 ticket, and then now it's $500 because you didn't pay it. So if you got a warrant for your arrest unless you pay $500 to do it. Man, I had to tell my sergeant. And I'm a person that don't hold back. So I'm like, I told in a briefing in front of everybody. I said, just so you know, Sergeant, I had a warrant for my arrest. And everybody at the briefing, they clown me forever because they remember me talking to that guy and saying, how you don't know you have a warrant? And then now I had a warrant. And so, of course, I couldn't drive until I dealt with it in patrol. So I ended up getting that taken care of, $500 fee. But anyway.
Sorry.
All right, let's do the super chats real quick before I get up off here. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. Justin said, did you see Chinese national was caught smuggling biological pathogens into the USA that would kill our crops? Not shocked. I'm a single mom. No matter how many opportunities I provide my boys, I simply could not be a dad. 1,000%. Women are resilient. Men are resilient. We all are resilient independently. We'll make it happen if you're a good person. You believe in God. You can make it happen. But you need the daddy, and you need a mama. You need a mama, bro. Like, I don't care how much I don't get along with a certain person. I still believe it's important that your kids have access to both parents. I don't have to like you because you ain't my mama. You somebody else's mama. And it's important that a boy have a good relationship with his mama, because there's a such thing as boys having dad mama issues. If you have never been loved and feel compassion from a woman, you don't treat women right when you grow up. Not unless you get saved and you can figure it out, but you don't really treat women correctly because you don't like them. You have this bitterness in you from your mama not being there for you. So then what you do, you treat them all poorly. If you had a good mama that loved you, you know how to respect a woman and know how to respect women. That's why boys need their mamas too, you know. And I think that even though my wife and I like disagree with her, I literally want to argue with her a lot of times about the granola stuff she be saying, but she be right though. Like my son, I think he's the smartest 4-year-old I've ever seen in my life, and it's because he got his mama. He love his mama. He need his mama. He literally sleep in the bed every night. I hate it sometimes, but I get it now. It makes sense, you know what I mean? And I see him now more than ever. He's starting to gravitate towards dad, and that's just the way things supposed to go. You know what I mean? Man, I'm only 26, and if you told me this trans nonsense was going to be so controversial back when I was in school, I'd never believe you. Delusional. 100%. This wasn't even a thing when I was in college. I took the study of sexuality class when I was in college, and it was very informative. A trans person came and just gave us information about what trans people are and what they go through. They didn't push it on nobody. And I thought it was interesting. Wow, this is what a trans person is. You know, it was so foreign, like people are trans and unisex. It's like, what? That's a thing? It wasn't a thing. It was like these are random one-off type people, and they come and inform you about what they go through. They weren't pushing it. They weren't coming into class being hyperbolic, talking about, trans, what do they call it? Transphobia, and that wasn't even a thing. And unfortunately, one of the people we watched on the video killed themselves that was doing the trans thing, which was unfortunate. But it was good, informative information that you can take and you can go on to the rest of your classes and go to school. It wasn't this whole pride thing that they're doing. How spicy are the Carbonero Amasa chips? They're not that spicy. Let me just give you a gradient. Like, I eat pickled jalapenos, no problem. I like most stuff spicy. When I order from Thai House, I get level 4, not level 5. So I can go all the way up to level 4, not level 5. Level 5 is too much for me. I will never eat a grilled jalapeno again in my life. I almost died eating a grilled real jalapeno with the seeds in it. So if you are the spicy person like me, I like everything spicy. Sriracha, I eat sriracha, it's fine, all that. So Carbonero on a 1 to 10 scale on my spicy list is like a 5. On a 1 to 10, it's like a 5. It's just enough kick to make you feel like it's spicy, but it's not spicy where you like eating hot Cheetos. It's not like that at all. It's got just a little kick to them, which I think is good that they did. Ban pride, 100%. I think people, I don't know how, if I was ever the president, I'd ban that stuff. I would ban it. There would be no pride, nothing in the federal government. No recognition of it. Prayers to the 3 young girls in Washington State taken too soon. Brandon, please follow the story. It's heartbreaking. I'm not sure what that story is. Pride Month needs to be banned, 100%. It's all debauchery, man. Sexual deviancy and debauchery. That's all Pride Month is. It had nothing to do with people living their life and being happy. Pretty simple. Comply, don't die. 1,000%. I almost want to make another shirt like that. Starlet, thank you so much for the super chat. God bless you. And God bless everybody. And Lee, I'm gonna send you, I don't know, Lee, if you can message me in Instagram, I want to send you some T-Force Advanced. So we got T-Force Advanced. I want to send you some. This is our best, probably the best formulation that one can do without taking tea. It's incredible. Like literally, we found the best product on the market. I'm gonna be honest. We found the best products on the market that are selling the best. They have the best ingredients in it. We did that. We put our own twist and did our own proprietary blends and added more and did this. And I believe that we have the best testosterone boosting supplement on the market by far. And the distribution center has said that we have the best on the market by far. They literally, when they come off the belt, they're like, "Can we have some of this? Because this is the best on the market." And money back guarantee. If you take it and don't work for you, I give you money back. That's how confident I am. Have you seen all the videos people talking about us being in a period of tribulation? The period the Bible says come after Revelation. I think we don't have it that bad yet. I think America is so spoiled that a little bit of adversity make us feel like it's the end of the world. Like, if you go back in go back in the day, even when Jesus was around, things were a lot worse than what they are today back then. I honestly believe Peter, Paul, the apostles thought that Jesus was coming back when they were alive in their lifetime. I don't think they thought Jesus was coming back thousands of years later. I think they believed Jesus was coming back in their lifetime. Because you got to think of the persecution of the Jews, or at least the Christians back then, was like tribulation, right? This was like mass murdering of Christians. Like this was the end time, right? You would think. In America, Christians can preach and teach and talk about Jesus openly everywhere in America with no fail. You can have Christian podcasts. Like, this is the easiest, most fluff time to be a Christian in world history. It's nothing you can't do as a Christian. I'm broadcasting right now. I could talk about Jesus all day long around the world on YouTube. People all around the world could follow me. I can have this translated in multiple languages. Like, there's no way that America is experiencing tribulation. There's people in other countries that are starving to death. Starving. Kids' stomach this big. They just dying every day. They have no food. People in villages get stung by mosquitoes. Whole village dead. AIDS epidemic in Africa was cleaning out hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, you go in these wars and these attacks against Christians where they're killing them by the thousands, beheading them, executing them, killing whole village of Christians. In China, you can't even be a Christian openly. So in America, if you feel like what we experience is tribulation, you got to read your Bible again. Now, if you want to say the totality of the world's experience is leading down the path of potentially being in a dark time before Christ comes, then maybe you have a point there. But people are saying in America, the poorest people in America got free health care. They got free health care. It's somebody who's talking about this in Canada. They were like, Canada, everybody get free health care. It's like, well, your taxes at 60%. So it's not free. You paying for it. It's just you're paying for it communally. But in America, if you're poor, you got 100% free coverage insurance. So what are we talking about? There's nobody in America that don't have insurance. Illegal aliens got insurance. And if they don't, they just go to the hospital and they're not accountable for nothing they do. They don't have a social security number. You can't mess their credit up. They don't have nothing. They just go in there and get service and come out of there. What are y'all talking about, though? Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Y'all are getting raked over the coals with them taxes. I'm a black teacher, and I could get fired for that. I think about trans athletes and girl sports if I say it out loud. If I say it out loud, I guess. It's sad that that's the reality. There is no reason whatsoever, and I'm going to get off here, that we should even be having a conversation about boys and women's sports. There is no mother freaking way that we should even be talking about this. It's so ridiculous. It's so apparent that there's an advantage to you previously being a boy and now identifying as a girl and whooping the socks off of these girls. Like it's like the per capita. If you look at all the trans kids that play sports, it's like per capita victories are like astronomical. It's like 4 girls in track and field trans, 4 titles. You know what I'm saying? It's like they batting at 100%. What are we talking about? And then there's absolutely 0 trans people on the other side. There's not one medal that will ever be won by a woman transitioning to being a guy. But every single transitioning of a man to a woman, everybody winning gold medals and breaking records. Like, how do we not see this as a nation? Anyway, love you guys. Get your merch. Get your Father's Day merch to your daddy. You love your daddy. If you really love your daddy, like you say you love your daddy, get the merch. Also, Monster Chips, make sure you support our sponsor. It's not that often that people are bold enough to support conservative people like me that's saying what I say. So Monster Chips is a real one for that. So y'all go hit the link in the description section. And Synergy. I mentioned Synergy before, but go on, get you your Synergy T-Force. If you like T-Force the first time, or you're a man that's looking for energy, looking for vitality, you're looking for everything that comes with testosterone boost, this is the best supplement on the market. It helps your body naturally produce testosterone without you taking T. We don't want you to take T unless you absolutely have to take testosterone, because once you start taking it, your body quits naturally developing it. And then therefore you got to take T forever once you start doing it. So we want majority of the people that watch my channel, you are nowhere near having to take T. So take a testosterone booster to help your body naturally produce testosterone. And if it don't work, I'll give you your money back. That's how confident I am. The only way to explain all of the world's pyramids and megaliths, is that what it is if we are post-revelation. When those are built, it was a time of love. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works, but God bless you. I'll look into that. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of